Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 15 Good Minutes. It's your guy, Coach B. Freddie, how are you today, man?
I'm well, and you? How you guys both doing?
I'm doing well. JR, how about you, man?
Just recuperating a little bit. You know, that Monday and then holiday really does something to you.
Psychologically, or are you saying just to me it felt like Sunday all day.
Yeah.
Or Saturday. I felt like I should have the next day off, but I didn't. Because we're recording on the 5th, so I had to work today. Was off all day yesterday, and it just seems weird because I went to a baseball game and all that, and typically I do that. I got the next day off. Not today. Was up and in the call, so we'll make the adjustment. But here's the thing, JR, short week, right? So, maybe we feel a little better on the back end. We're going to jump right into it today because we got two things we're going to cover, and we're going to try to stick and move and make sure that we get it within 15 minutes. The first, we're going to kind of pick up a little bit. We talked a little bit last week about winners and losers with trades. But since that time, Freddie has pointed out, there's been a ton of activity in the NBA world with regards to contracts. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up. We're going to talk about some of these contracts, and I just want to get your quick opinion, a quick thought, yay, nay, or something that stands out to you. And then we're going to pivot to last week's news of the fairly significant layoffs at ESPN, and I'm going to get your opinion on that. So what I'm going to do basically now is I'm just going to start going through some names, and I'm going to just alternate with you guys, give you a name, tell you what that player was able to secure bag-wise. And for our audience, just so you know, before you get any of these guys' opinion, we ain't getting in these cats' pockets. I ain't mad at them. Let them get paid. But having said that, man, the NBA done lost his damn mind with some of these. Okay, so first guy up, and I'm kind of going backwards from what I have today at the time that we're taped. So I'm going to start with you, Freddie, with Sabonis with the Kings. His type of contract was an extension, now worth $217 million over 5 years. Good, bad, indifferent.
I don't see him being worth 217 million. That's my personal opinion, but kudos to him for securing it, and I'm not going to even say securing it. I think it's just really more so how the NBA pay scale has now set guys up to where a lot of times, organizations, they're forced to kind of overpay to keep certain guys. And he was a guy that they didn't want to lose, so they had to overpay. So I'm not mad at him.
I agree. JR, how about you? Sabonis with Sacramento got 217. Good, bad, or indifferent?
I think it's good. It's an evil good, because that can take off like wildfire throughout the NBA of people having to sign those kind of contracts because they can
think that ship has sailed. I don't know if I would call it evil.
I think
because his was an extension,
like his agent.
Mind you. This wasn't a holdout.
He's got a good agent. He's got a good agent. You know what I'm saying? So
you're saying good, not bad.
No, but I agree with what you said. It's got to be a guy that you can build around. It can't be, just one guy that's really not the guy. You know what I'm saying? You got a big man, okay? You got a big man. So unless he can do some Luka stuff, then we might talk a little bit.
So you don't think he's worth it? I'm trying to get. I still haven't figured out. Are you for it, against it, or
no?
Sounds like you're against it. He's not Luka.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's worth that kind of money. I really
All right,
don't.
Sticking with you, I'm going to go next with the Hornets and LaMelo Ball, $207 million. Got a rookie extension for 5 years. Your thoughts on that? Good, bad, or indifferent?
He's still got a lot of upside to him. He's been playing well, and you can still build around him, or he can be a good supporting piece. Either way. So I think he's worth the money, and he's young enough to get it. He's got the years to play well. At least he only been in the league 3 years at least.
Well, his is a rookie extension, but that was the same. That was true for Sabonis. Is also a rookie extension, so they're both
players.
Young.
Yeah, but they're different players. So,
okay, so you like that one, you didn't like the other, and the dollar amount is about the same. I'm going to figure this out by the time we get to the end with you, Freddie. Talk to me about LaMelo Ball, $207 million over 5 years for an extension. Good, bad, or indifferent?
I think it's good because right now, quite frankly, Charlotte Hornets has nothing else. He is the face of that franchise. Not to mention he's playing well. He has been playing well.
I'm going to start with this one and just tell you right off the bat, I did not see this coming. I don't agree with it, but another $207 million. I went to Tyrese Halliburton, and I don't know why, but I'm going to go to you, Freddie. Good, bad, or indifferent for Halliburton getting 207 for 5 years on a rookie extension.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of indifferent because Halliburton, he plays in Indiana, right? The small market. We don't really see them enough. So
that's a good indifferent. JR, you like him at 207 for an extension?
No, I like him at 207, but I can understand what your point is. We don't see him enough. What Freddie said, we don't see him enough, so I can't really judge his play unless I look at stats.
Memphis has extended Desmond Bane again, $207 million for 5 years.
I like that.
You like that, Freddie? He likes it. Do you like it?
Yeah.
It's tough because now you have Bane with $200 million. Then you have Triple J. I think he got 196 last year, and then you have Ja with 200. On the books, right? So now the question becomes, again, I ain't mad at the brother for getting his money, but the question becomes, how do you build around that, right? Because now you have three guys that, life cycle value of their contract is, roughly $600 million. How do you get people to come in and play with that? Because everybody want theirs.
Where Desmond is concerned, for me anyway, I like his story, his individual story. However, I didn't see him as a $200 million guy. Very good player, hustles, works hard, and all those kind of things. So Jeremy Grant got 160, an extension, JR. Do you like it? Portland.
I haven't watched him play, but just your coaching guy, I'm happy to say, hey, you're making that dough. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a good deal for him because he's that glue guy for Portland. So I like it for Jeremy Grant.
I agree with Freddie on that. I like it as well. I think all three of us go with that one. Freddie, you got an extension in Dallas for Kyrie Irving, 126 mil, 3 years. Good, bad, or indifferent?
I think it's good for Dallas, and I think it's good for Kyrie.
JR, Kyrie, 126, good, bad, indifferent?
I think it's good. And my thing is, it can be really good if there's no drama and Kyrie just play ball.
I think I'm going to split the difference too, JR. I agree with Freddie in that it's good for Dallas. I don't know if it's good for Kyrie because he tends to get in his own way. Freddie, our guy, Cam Johnson, got 108 for 4 years. Good, bad, or indifferent with the Nets?
That is actually great. That, to me, that is a fair market value considering what the market is for NBA salaries right now. I think that's a fair market value for Cam Johnson.
Yeah, I think he's good at 108. He's a steady Eddie,
Over to you, Freddie. The Bucks were able to keep Middleton 102 for 3 years. Good, bad, or indifferent?
I think it's a good deal considering they were able to bring him back at that amount. And they were able to bring back
big fella
Blake. Is it Blake?
No, it's I have him in here.
The Lopez, Brooke
Lopez.
Yes. Because then they were able to bring back him, and they kept their core. Brooke, Giannis, Chris, and Holiday together. That core.
To your point, Freddie, Lopez is a key part. I think the fact that they're able to keep those guys together and to have Middleton there. And didn't they pay last year? Holiday, didn't he get? They took care of him, right? So
yeah.
I think organizationally, I like what those guys are doing. I said just a week ago, I don't think he's a $100 million guy. I haven't changed my mind. Draymond Green gets 100 4 years. It's an extension. Good, bad, or indifferent.
You said 100 per year?
No, 100 over 4 years.
4 years. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? That's what, 25 a year? Yeah, I'm good with that.
Freddie, Draymond Green, did he get a good deal? You happy with it?
I have to give that an incomplete.
Last thing I'm going to do is, there were a few people that were let go from ESPN recently. And of the 15 names, I'm just going to run through the 15 names. I want you to give me, 2 that surprised you. Jeff Van Gundy, Jalen Rose, Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, Todd McShay, Matt Hasselbeck, Ashley Brewer, Susie Colbert, Steve Young, LaFonso Ellis, Jason Fitz, June Lee, Jordan Cornette, David Pollack, and Nick Friedel.
Max Kellerman, definitely not. And Van Gundy, I didn't.
The two that surprised me were Pollock, Todd McShay.
Yeah, I think my two, one of them is Pollock. I like him. I think he's good for the game. I think he played at Georgia when he played. Real
Georgia
good guy.
The Bengals.
Yes, and for me though, the big one was Susie Colbert. 27 years. You talk about a staple. She had a really nice tweet about it when they let her go. There were several that surprised me, but those two stood out the most to me. I was surprised by a lot of the names on that list. I'm still not sure what ESPN is doing.
There was some more today. More today.
And then there were some others too. I should have mentioned that just weren't cut, but contracts weren't renewed. Neil Everett, long time, 20-year guy, Sports Center guy. They didn't renew him. So we'll have to keep an eye on and see what's going on over there. As always, before we break, I'm going to check with the guys and see anybody got anything to say. JR, you got something to say today?
I ain't got nothing to say. I just got a shout out for my man Joey Chestnut doing his thing at the Nation Hot Dog Joint. 16th victory. Go ahead, Joey.
That's a damn shame.
Freddie, you got anything to say today, buddy?
I mean, I love hot dog, but 62
in 10 minutes.
But to piggyback off the topic that we just discussed, ESPN, you let go a lot of talent. I don't, I guess it's from a fiscal perspective, and I get it. I understand that. I don't see the improvement. So what are you focusing on outside of the fiscal perspective? Because those guys are some of the reasons people tune in to these shows pre-game, right? And so how do you replace it? It's going to be interesting to see.
I got something to say today too, and it's for the fan, right? Specifically the live sports fan. I need y'all to stop breaking the code. There's too many breaking the code. And what I'm talking about is this, and JR talked about it a little bit. If you go to a live sporting event and you wearing something that represents a player that's not on that team anymore, stop it. Stop it. Just yesterday alone at Nationals Park, I saw Juan Soto jerseys, Ryan Zimmerman, Max Scherzer, Trey Turner, Victor Robles, Daniel Hudson, Pudge Rodriguez, and Bryce Harper. And guess what? None of them play for Washington anymore. Now, I'm not saying that you don't support your team. If you're wearing a jersey, and Neil Everett had a great, position on this about whether or not I'm going to put another man's name on my back. I don't do that. But if that's your thing, there's two conditions that you get to wear a jersey of a former player. One, if he is a Hall of Famer. So when we went to New York last week, a lot of Derek Jeter, I'm good with that. Or two, if the jersey was autographed, that jersey by that player. Other than that, don't do it. Get you some good gear. Look, I represent the Yanks all the time, but not with a name on it. There's ways you can support your team, and there's a code. When that player leaves, you got to let it go. If you're a Juan Soto fan, get you a 22 in San Diego colors and wear that thing everywhere. But if you're a Nationals fan, you got to find C.J. Abrams. I didn't know who he was until yesterday. Young shortstop. You want to wear that number. And JR's point was these teams are changing so quickly. You want to invest in a number, that's your thing. But there's plenty of really, really good gear out there. If you're going to buy a jersey, do what my nephew did. We're in New York. We're at the Yankees game. He bought a brand new Yankees jersey, and they put his name on it. So wherever he goes, Yankee Stadium, he's good to go. But the code says if the player isn't there anymore, please do the right thing as a live fan and stop wearing representative gear for players that aren't on your squad no more, especially if they're playing for somebody else. You got Max Scherzer playing for the opposition right now. And you walking around with 31? No. Once they leave and they're playing live in your sport right now, you can't wear the colors of your home team in that person's number anymore. That's the code. I didn't write the code. My job is to uphold the code.
Gotcha. Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper would have. We could have been able to wear his jersey if he would have stayed with the team and won that World Championship.
Glad you guys hung out. If you have any comments on either firings at ESPN or some of the crazy good contracts that the NBA players are getting, and NBA Summer League is happening right now. This weekend, the number one draft pick. That game is already sold out days in advance for Summer League. Get you some NBA action. We will catch up with you guys next week.
Later.